audio relay services. Now, they help people with hearing problems communicate electronically. Companies that provide these services bill the government hundreds of millions of dollars a year. But now, as Chief Investigative Correspondent Armin Katayan tells us, federal prosecutors say some of that money is winding up in the pockets of swindlers.
For more than 30 million Americans, places like this video call center in Rochester, New York are nothing less than a lifeline to the outside world. It's here where each month thousands of hearing impaired people use sign language to communicate with translators over a computer link. Those translators then speak for their deaf clients to anyone and everyone in the hearing world. For the deaf, it's a critical service. For others, it was a golden opportunity to commit fraud. Today, the government cracked down.
It's not going to be tolerated. It's outrageous and insidious.
26 people from 7 companies in 8 states that provide the translation service were indicted. They were charged with stealing tens of millions of dollars by submitting thousands of false and fraudulent claims to rip off a government fund that virtually everyone with a phone contributes to.
Taxpayers were paying for services that really weren't occurring.
The government alleges the scammers never took calls from hearing impaired people. Instead, they just placed calls to listen to radio programs or podcasts. They never translated anything. But they did bill the government nearly $400 for every hour the employee was on the phone. Prominent disabled rights attorney Jeff Rosen expressed disappointment at all the deception.
And the fraud issue is something that we're going to have to deal with. We can't allow that to diminish the access that deaf people have.
The service began back in 1993, but in recent years, these type of calls have exploded, rising from about 100,000 minutes per month in 2004 to upwards of 9 million per month, generating an expected $800 million this year alone.
The whole deaf community is harmed by those actions, but we will take responsibility in fixing that.
As the government makes clear, it's going to protect a service so liberating for the deaf from becoming a center of corruption. Armin Katayan, CBS News, New York.
In Los Angeles today,